What up? Welcome back to another episode of the Michigan Magnet Man. My name is Tanner, the Michigan Magnet Man, and we are building a Quincy today. You just saw my beautiful entrance. I am currently inside of it. Let me go ahead and show you guys how I made this. So we have all of this snow started piling up over here for the base of the Quincy. Now I am gonna let this sit for the next like 2 to 3 hours, and what that's going to do is it's going to help all the snow compact down on itself, and that's gonna give me a stronger foundation to work with. Now when you are building these Quincy's, you can use any type of snow, whether it's wet or like more powdery snow. It doesn't really matter with this because all the snow is compressing down on itself either way. This is the first time I've built one of these, so let's see how it goes. I'll come back out in another couple hours. We got a ton of snow the other day, and we've got our car parked in the side yard just to get it out of the way. Look how much freaking snow is on this car, guys. Like, this is the type of snow that I deal with up here in Michigan. Way different than the snow that was non-existent when I was living in San Diego, but like, look at this, just feet of snow everywhere. You can see my little hut being built back there. Make sure to give a huge shout out to my dad for taking the snowblower out there and helping me out and getting all that snow put up in the pile. It's really made my job a lot easier. I know that would have taken freaking forever if I was using just a shovel, so definitely recommend doing that. Now that we've got all the snow piled up and it's been sitting overnight for the day, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start digging out this Quincy. So let's do it. And we'll just start digging this little spot out. Now, you can already tell that this snow has compressed a lot since yesterday. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna slowly start making a little entryway. So I've noticed that the snow is compacted down a lot. It's a lot icier than it was yesterday, and all of the snow has compressed. So I am being able to pull out full chunks in one piece with the shovel. Let's go ahead and keep going at it. This is gonna take a while. The videos I've been watching, it's gonna take 3 to 4 hours to dig these out. I think I might be able to do it a little bit quicker, but let's see once we get in there. My sister and my nephew and niece are heading up to visit today. My nephew, he's been wanting to come out and film with me, so I'm getting this started so he can come out and enjoy. I plan on doing some cooking or like s'mores or something tonight in the Quincy with him, so I think they'll really enjoy that. Let's get back to digging. So if you look, it's slowly starting to get funneled out. It's starting to form a little shape in there. Pretty soon I'll be able to climb up in there, hopefully, and dig out that way. I wish I had my nephew with me right now. He's a lot smaller. He'd be able to get up in there and pull on this snow. Just to show you how much the snow has compressed, I cut out a giant chunk from inside. Now I think I'm gonna be able to work by pulling out chunks like this, and it'll make my job a lot faster. I just get up underneath it with the shovel and I kind of pry it out with the spade, and it's working really well. I went and got my sled, and I've been using this sled as a way to get snow out. Moved up inside, I've made a decent amount of headway. I'm just taking this little shovel and I'm breaking off chunks of snow like that. So I've got my sled down here with me, and I'm just loading up all the snow onto this so I can pull it up out. I'm probably about 5.5 foot in so far. I definitely have a ways to go. It's probably been about 45 minutes, but the snow is starting to just fall pretty easy. Like I said, I just drive this up and knock it off. And then I just pull the pile out like this, and I dump it off on the side. It's fun. I've made decent leeway. You can see where the entrance is over here. So that shows that I've gone in quite a ways. I'd say I'm about 8 or 9 foot in. I'm able to sit up in here now, which is cool. All I'm doing is taking the shovel. I can fit a full-size shovel in here, and I'm scraping off the edge and the top until I see like a light blue color where the light's coming through. That lets me know I don't have a thick coat there. That way, if it does collapse, it's not a ton of snow falling down on me, it's just a thin layer. Pulling in and out all the snow on this sled is actually quite tiresome, having to get in and get out. If someone were outside, just being able to pull it out, empty it, and toss it back in, I probably could get this done like easily twice as fast. So I probably get another 2 hours left of digging. I am sweating, my hair is frozen. It's definitely cold outside, but it's nice and warm inside of here. There's no like wind or anything. Like this is gonna be very warm to camp in. Just like that, big chunks are coming off and out of the way. And I find that it's easiest to clear these out when they stay in these big chunks. Whew. So I have most of the walls completed now. Now what I'm doing is I'm going through and I am just scraping off snow off of the roof. Now I want to go until it starts to show like blue. So like the lighter the blue, the more light's coming through. It's gonna let you know when you're gonna reach your edge. Now I have seen people use sticks where they poke them down through the outside of the hill when they first pile it up. And what this does is it lets you know where you've reached your limit on this. So as soon as you hit those sticks, you know you shouldn't dig any farther. But I think just seeing the blue will make all the difference. This is a slower process. Now, making these Quinzys is a lot of work, guys. I've used a lot of energy. Make sure you're drinking water as you're building these, or you're gonna get dehydrated. Man, that goes a lot higher than I was expecting. It's an igloo. So what we're gonna use it for, we're gonna hang out in there. You can use the sled to get in if you want. Make sure not to touch the top. In and out.
There's a hole!
So what that hole over there for is, Hope, is that's to let oxygen in so we can breathe easier.
But there's a big hole.
Yep, that's our entrance. Now the hole over here, that's gonna be for my stove tomorrow when I set up my my stove in here, when I sleep out here.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna sleep in here.
Oh.
We are out here in the Quincy and we are gonna go ahead and we are gonna spray the insides with, what are we gonna use, Rowan? What's in there?
Water?
Yep, we're gonna spray it down with water on the inside, and what this is gonna do is it's gonna make a ice cast on the inside that's gonna help hold all the heat in, and it's gonna help give some more structure to the little igloo that we built. Rowan is over here and he is spraying down the inside. Make sure you don't get your sister.
I won't.
Spraying down the inside with water. There you go, good job, Hope.
Hey.
What about the fort, Rowan?
It's good. We could probably play a nice game of snowball fight with this.
Hope, what do you think about it?
Yeah, good.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, so it is the next day, guys. I've got most of my gear loaded up. I am really glad the cot fit. It barely fit. I didn't really take that into consideration when I was building this thing, but I do have it up and fit. The next thing that I'm going to do is blow up my little air pad. Now this air pad is made by a company called Invoker. You saw that in my previous episode. Now this thing, I tested it out last time, guys, and it worked out super well. And I just found out there's little patches in here. I need these for my tent. I stopped and bought some today at Walmart. So this fills up and closes off really easy. It takes like maybe 3 or 4 minutes to blow up, which is super cool. This side right here is supposed to have a built-in pump, but it doesn't work very well, so I don't recommend this if you are looking for something that can pump up automatically. This bad boy blown up. There we go. So my sleeping mat looks like this, and it's all blown up. Now, the way that this is designed, it is sewn across right here. And what that does is it compartmentalizes the air inside of this air pad a lot. And it's gonna create a bigger cushion for me to heat up with my body and keep me a little bit more warm. Now, it also is easier to blow up because there's less space. It feels like that you have to blow up. Now, the reason that I'm sleeping with my head towards the door is just in case this thing were to collapse on me tonight. I'd be able to get out easy. I'm also gonna sleep with a little shovel by me in case I need to get out in case of an emergency. I sprayed down the inside of this very well with water, and it created like an ice all the way through, which is super cool. I'm hoping that when the stove gets going, that the heat from the stove will also start to melt that just a little bit, and that way it'll create like an ice on the inside. It's supposed to get down to 3 degrees tonight, so the air on the outside I feel like will keep that cold enough to just freeze it almost instantly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my sleeping bag out and get this stove going. I've got a crazy meal I'm gonna be cooking with you guys, so stay tuned. So now what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna get this stove started up and get it warm up in here a little bit. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and cook dinner. I need to keep track of time because I'm going live tonight with you guys. Take a couple tiny pieces. Now, I am using these little Duraflame fire starters. These things are like amazing, guys. I use these every time I go out. It's just easier than worrying about, oh, I broke it up here. That's kind of cool. I just removed the knot from this piece of wood. I've never seen something like that. But anyways, I use these little Duraflame starters everywhere I go because it's just really easy to use. The company that sent me this stove actually didn't send me all the parts at first, and they sent me an entire stove to replace the parts that were missing. So now I have 2 stoves. I actually gave one to my cousin for his birthday. So, as you could tell by the last couple episodes, I am a foodie. Now, I did bring out something crazy to make, and I just cut up all of the ingredients so you guys didn't have to watch all the painstaking work to cut up everything really tiny. Now, what I am making, I'll show you this here. I am making Italian meatballs that are stuffed with mozzarella cheese. So what I have here is some Italian Johnsonville sweet sausage, some salt, pepper, some parsley, some basil, and a shallot. Now the salt that I use today, I'm really excited about, guys. Now this is what they call flake salt. And flake salt tastes so good. It's got a different taste than normal salt to me. It's not as salty, so I can use it more. Like literally, you could just take it and eat it, and it's not overpowering. It's not too much. The next step is going to be mixing up all this meat together. To form these balls, I've got this fresh mozzarella cheese. These little tiny mozzarella cheese balls are so freaking good. So I'm just gonna take and drop a bunch of them into here. I'm going to grab a little ball of the meat. I'm gonna place that in the center, and then I'm just going to wrap the meat around the little piece of cheese. Now, I have heard that so you want to make sure you've got enough meat on there where the cheese isn't going to come out. I've seen people say that the meat or the cheese will come out and to not be alarmed by that, so I'm not too concerned, but these are what my little balls are going to look like. And now I've got all of the meatballs formed up and put together. I'm going to go ahead and get my pan hot with some oil. All right, so now I'm going to add some canola oil to this pan. Now the reason I'm using canola oil is because it has a neutral flavor. So you don't need to worry about it changing the flavor of your food as much. And I'm just gonna let this pan warm up and get nice and toasty, spreading this oil all the way around. I am a big fan of using cast iron pans. And there's a few different reasons why. One thing that I really enjoy about using cast iron is that the heat gets distributed pretty evenly all the way across the pan. So you get that nice sear at the bottom. Another thing I like about cast iron is they're really non-stick. If you take care of them and you season them properly, you won't have any issues using cast iron. They're my go-tos. And you should hear that sizzle, letting you know that the pan is hot. It is smelling so good in here, guys. I wish you could smell it. The smell of that Italian sausage mixed with those shallots, oh my gosh, to die for, I swear. All right, looks like these are about done. It is 60 degrees inside of this Quincy. That's pretty warm. Coming right up. My parents are stopping by to grab some food. Let's go ahead and take a bite into one of these beautiful meat. The cheese has melted in there. That is a good meatball, man. There's just something about cooking food out in nature. Normally I'm in a hot tent. This is a completely different thing. I can't believe I'm in a Quincy eating meatballs. A minute ago up top here, it was about 65 degrees. So it's nice and warm in this little Quincy, guys. Like, I was kind of skeptical about it. I know that in my tent, the walls kind of help prevent the cold from leaving, and it keeps the heat inside the tent. But I didn't know how snow was gonna do that. So this is gonna be a big change compared to using the tent. Now tonight, like I said, it is gonna be reaching about 3 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is gonna get really cold. Hopefully I'm prepared for it. I think I am. I got my sleeping bag and my mat and everything behind me. I think it's gonna work really well. I am gonna go ahead and relax for a bit. I'm about to go live, so I will hop back and let you guys know how things are going after I get done going live. It's been burning a little bit. I just got off of live. Thank you all so much for joining me over on YouTube and Instagram for my live sessions. I really appreciate all the help that you've given me, and I appreciate you guys showing me some love. I've had such a great time out here camping. Today was really nice. Getting all this firewood cut up with my uncle was a good time, and getting this whole thing built with my dad was awesome. I really appreciate him helping out. Look at this, nuts. Today was very cold. It's gonna get colder tonight while I sleep. But this fire is keeping me nice and warm so far, so I'm a big fan. I'm gonna hang out for a bit, watch some movies, and I think I'm gonna call it a night. So there's not much else to see, so see you guys in the morning. Morning, guys. See my breath? It's about 5:30 and it is cold. I woke up a couple times last night to get the fire going. It burned pretty good. I went through just about all the wood that I had. I do have some of the Duraflame sticks left still, so there's that. I'm about ready to get packed up and go inside and be warm. I'm gonna go take a shower. I think I'm gonna get some coffee or a cup of hot chocolate. I haven't decided yet, and just relax out here by the fire for a couple more minutes and wait for that to burn out before I go inside. All right, so it is the next day. I went in about 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning. It got really, really cold. It got down to -7 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna go over a little bit what happened to the Quincy last night. It was a little bit of a scary moment. Let me go ahead and show you that now. So as you can see, the snow was melting out pretty good from where the Quincy was exiting its heat from the stove. If you look down in there, you can see that that's where the stove's at. And that's where all my stuff is. I left everything down in there till this morning so I could pull it out when it was light out. But other than that, we just have a couple bigger holes where I put some ventilation spots. So that's really the only issue I had. It stayed fairly warm throughout the night. It was probably about 34 to like 40 degrees most of the night. It did get down at one point to about 25. I burned through a decent amount of wood last night. I still have a nice chunk, a nice set left. But I'm gonna go ahead and get everything packed up. It was a great adventure out here, guys. That's gonna be all for today's episode, guys. Go ahead and get those alerts turned on and hit subscribe for me. I post new clips to my Instagram every single day, and I post new clips on my YouTube every single Friday morning. So I'll see you guys next week.